Hello and welcome back to the Brighton Career Mode here on FC24. We are now into episode 9 of season 5. Gonna get into it very shortly. As you can see, we are going to be facing some very good opponents in this episode. So first up, we're going to have a game against West Ham. But then after that, an FA Cup game against Chelsea. And then a couple of games in the Premier League that we might end up simulating. Leeds and Forest, they're both having pretty tough seasons this year. An away fixture against AC Milan in the Champions League. We, of course, drew in the last game against them 1-1 in the first leg. So it all comes down to this second leg. Hopefully we can at least, maybe take it to penalties. That'd be exciting. But obviously we would prefer to win rather than lose, of course. So we'll get through those games for sure. And then we will likely also get through the Newcastle game as well. If we end up simulating Nottingham Forest and Leeds, then we'll get through Newcastle. If we only simulate one of those two, then we'll probably not get through the Newcastle game. But nonetheless, that's where we're at right now. Currently in the Premier League, we are sitting in 4th place, which is, obviously not too bad, but we have played an extra game over Arsenal below us, so there's a potential that they could, of course, go above us. So it's definitely a tight race up there for those top 4 spots. Man City have kind of given themselves a little bit of a lead over most teams, except for Liverpool, of course, but that's where we're at right now. And then in terms of the squad, I'll go ahead and show you guys the squad stats towards the beginning of the episode, just so we can kind of see that and see where everyone is at so far. Mohamed Kudus, player of the year so far for at least our team, maybe even for the Premier League. And maybe, he could potentially be up there for a Ballon d'Or award as well. But we'll have to see how that goes. João Felix playing very well as well, but not quite as good as Kudus. And then Garnacho still performing very well also, but then, of course, just not as good as Felix or Kudus. So that's where we're at right now with the squad. Hoping to see a little bit more from some other players in this episode, but we'll see how it goes. We're definitely going to get a little bit of a rotated side in for the FA Cup game against Chelsea. We obviously still want to win, but we might as well play some, backup players while we still can. We sent out a youth scout to Ghana to see if we could bring back some players. We've got a couple of interesting ones. This one right here, Olivier Yeboah, I believe is how you would say that. 550,000 value as of right now. We're going to go ahead and get him into the squad. Unfortunately, this player's valuation isn't very high and his technical attributes don't look great, so we're going to go ahead and pass on him as well as this guy. Shola Boateng is a keeper. Not really sure if we need a keeper at this point in the career mode. He does look decent, 475,000 value, but I am going to go ahead and reject him. Like I said before, we're really looking for, the cream of the crop. We're looking for the best talent, a diamond in the rough type player that we can find in the youth academies. So we're going to pass on those ones. Let's go ahead and fix the lineup up and let's get into this game against West Ham. This will be West Ham's lineup for our game against them. Of course, they still have Jared Bowen out there on that right side. He's probably their most dangerous player, but at this point in the career mode, he's probably getting up there in age and he's probably just not quite as good as he used to be. So this should be an easy game for us, but we know how that goes. Kirkaz with a good interception there. Going to look early here for João Felix. Oh, I thought he was going to be able to get a pass away, and I thought Garnacho was going to be able to get a shot away there. Good defense by West Ham. 22 minutes gone here. West Ham end up with a corner. Going to swing this one in. They have a couple of guys in the area of the ball. Luckily, Verbruggen somehow gets a hand to it, and it does get cleared away. Wow, what a pass inside to Bowen. Being hounded and guarded by Diamande. Jared Bowen, very good moves over here. Very hard to get the ball away from him, but Kirkaz does eventually. Ready though, has a pass through here to Garnacho. Heavy touch. And gonna look for that back right side, and we find it, of course. Garnacho, first goal of the game. I saw that comment about moving João Felix back to more of a center forward role and putting Garnacho and Kudus forward. Gonna try to get them those Gareth Bale and Cristiano Ronaldo type numbers and type roles like they had at Real Madrid with Karim Benzema up there. Not exactly the same quality of players, but, close, hopefully. Kirkaz pushing forward again. Garnacho able to find a pass to Almada. Lays it off to Getson Fernandez. Early shot, first time shot as well. Right at the keeper, and they will clear it out for the end of the first half. West Ham pushing forward here. Gonna take a shot right at the side netting. I don't think Verbruggen even got a hand to it. Probably, not their first chance of the game, but one of their first chances for sure. Good interception in midfield by Moretti. Oh, we have Garnacho over here. Can he look over the top for Getson Fernandez? He can, but what a terrible pass that was. Emerson will knock it out for a corner, though. And they'll get a sub on as well. And we'll go ahead and swing this one in with Getson Fernandez. And hope to find Diamande. Oh, and Melier with an excellent save. And then kicks it right off of his own player. What is going on? Garnacho. I see Almada over here. We'll look inside for João Felix. Gonna try to take a shot, but it will be cleared out. Jared Bowen making some nice moves through the defense, but can't get around Evan Ndicka. Alright, still clinging to a 1-0 lead here after about 75 minutes. Nowhere to go on this side. We're going to find Getson Fernandez over here to Moretti. Surely he's got Kirkez through, but a heavy touch, and it looks like Kirkez was offsides. And we'll go ahead and get some subs on here after 75 minutes. Garnacho coming off for Adam West. Almada off for Bellingham, and then we're going to get one more player on as well. And hope that it goes well for us. João Pedro in for João Felix. And somehow João Pedro is going to get that out to him. Kudus now inside. Going to look, through for Job. Kudus ends up with it. Now João Pedro. Oh, we've got to score that. João Pedro, we've got to. Then Rama down inside. Ooh, good defending by Diomande. We're able to get that one away. What is that pass? Not sure what that is at all. 90 minutes gone now. We just need to hold on for a couple more minutes of added time. But easier said than done. They're going to head that one. We're going to head that one away. João Pedro looking for a through ball. Probably should have just held on to possession. Jared Bowen on the wing. If he doesn't do anything with it, the referee may blow his whistle. He passes it back. And that was just a mistake by him. Rookie mistake from a veteran. And that is going to do it for this game. We take a 1-0 win, and we take 3 points back home with us. And that works out perfectly for us because we've now got some teams right on our tail. Aston Villa and Newcastle jump over Arsenal in terms of points. Of course, Arsenal still with that game in hand. And of course, Man United and Man City above us with their games in hand. But still, we are level on points with Man United now. Still in 4th place, but obviously still pushing for a potential higher ranking or higher position in the table. So that's exciting to see. We're going to go ahead and simulate here to this game against Chelsea in the FA Cup. And this is the round of 16 in the FA Cup. And you can see some of the other matchups here and some of the, smaller teams that are still in it. Stockport and Bristol City. I would love to see them going through. Obviously, Stockport playing Man United, not going to be an easy test. But Bristol City against Leicester, I mean, it is possible. It is possible for anyone to go through, I guess. So let's go ahead and get into our game against Chelsea. And it looks like Chelsea are just going to go with pretty much one of their strongest lineups that they can put out, which is perfectly fine. We love a challenge. And then we're obviously, like I said, going to go with our second team, try to get the back up some game time, make this competition there. So let's go ahead and get into this one as well. Ooh, João Pedro with a tackle. They're going to call that a foul? Really? I thought he got the ball. I mean, he definitely got Sula a little bit, but come on now, ref. Tariq Lamptey with a tackle. Adam West down here with the ball. We're going to look inside early for João Pedro, who will look over the top for Bino Gittins, who sort of stopped his run. And Shula will head that one out. Wow, we're going to end up with it. Very late there, and Bino Gittins is going to be offsides. Duarte down in here to Diouf. Diouf looking inside. What is that pass from Diouf? It's got to be better. Joe Bellingham with it now. Gittins ends up with it. Gonna look over here for Fabricio, who finds João Pedro, who I believe was again offsides. It doesn't look like he was, but now they have numbers pushing forward. Sterling now with the ball pushing forward. Oh, pass inside to Nkunku. We need to get some bodies in front of him. We do. Oh, Stanley Wilson, last-ditch defending. A terrible pass away from whoever that was. Nkunku now with it again. And Mercier with another save. Wow. Of course, that pass went through Duarte's legs. Enzo out here to Manu Sanchez. Inside to Fofana. Saved by Mercier again. 3 quick shots from Chelsea back to back to back in multiple possessions. Looks like they're going to take this corner short. Wilson will knock it out for another corner. Nkunku forward to Fofana. Gets the pass through. And Mercier doesn't save that one. I mean, out of all of them, he doesn't save that one. That's crazy. Manu Sanchez going for a cross. Fabricio Diaz deals with it well. Thought he was going to turn it over right there in front of the goal for a easy shot, but he doesn't. João Pedro now pushing forward is through on goal. And he hits the post. It hits the keeper, and then they clear it out. Oh, man, we are unlucky there for sure. Wow. Give me someone that's close. Oh my god. Okay. Mercier, get up. Wow, what a double save. And West is going to have Diouf through here. Not exactly through. Diouf. Come on, ref. Give us something. Enzo Fernandez out here to Sterling. Sterling pushing forward. Barco holding his ground well. Not letting Sterling past him just yet, but then does. Nkunku. Stanley Wilson. Very solid defending. Bino Gittins, run. Damn. We're going to send him down through. He's going to knock that one on. We're going to look inside for João Pedro. Makes a nice turn inside. Diogo Costa, though, shot right at him. Ooh, Barco with a sliding challenge on Fofana. Not the greatest sliding challenge I've seen from a player of our team. And it looks like he's going to get, more than likely, a yellow card for this. And they're going to have a free kick in a dangerous area. We will get on a couple of subs, though. João Felix coming on and Mohamed Kudus coming on as well. Hopefully they can make a difference in this game. And they're going to swing this corner, or not corner, swing this free kick in. Duarte, not a good clearance. Kudus, a little bit better. And João Felix will knock it on here to Joe Bellingham. We will have Bino Gittins out here. We need you to sprint. I don't know what is wrong with him and why is he not sprinting. But he finally does and takes one too heavy touch. Bino Gittins doesn't end up with it. Also went in for a sliding challenge, which didn't look good. Probably going to be a yellow card. Matty Cash inside to Nkunku. We need everyone back. Stanley Wilson sliding in. I can't get the ball away. And the referee's going to blow his whistle for full time. I didn't even realize that all the time had gone. And we take a 1-0 loss here in the FA Cup. So we are officially out of the competition. And now straight into our game here against Leeds United. We are in a Premier League game against them, of course. Need to get a win here, just like always. But we've been dropping points in the Premier League as of late. So 3 points here would be massive. Having to play a slightly rotated side, though. You can see Igor's in. I think we have a couple of other rotations in as well. Because of that Champions League game we got coming up. Nowhere to go just yet. Having to pull it back. Get to Fernandez over here to Garnacho. We've got an overlapping run from Kirkes, who has an angle to shoot. We decided to go for a shot instead of crossing it against the, or in front of the goal. And then that pass by João Felix is just absolutely terrible. Uh-oh. Sliding in with Igor there. Not a great challenge. We are going to get a foul called on us for that for sure. It looks like a yellow card. No, not even a yellow card for that. Very interesting decision from the referee there. But they're going to have a free kick in a very dangerous area. Like always. And it looks like they're going to go for goal. And Verbruggen has to make a save on that one. Would have been insane if that one was scored. But it will be a corner here for Leeds. 14 minutes gone. Right at Garnacho. We're going to get it away momentarily. And Igor with a sliding challenge. And Kirkes able to keep it in. And then a sliding challenge on us. That could be a yellow card for them. Wow. Sasha Bowie pushing forward here. Kudus has so much room to run out on this wing. Knocks it inside as well. And goes around the defense. Wow. Pickford with an insane save. Not a good shot from Kudus. Kind of directly at the keeper. We're going to look inside. Inside again. Out here to Kirkes. Back inside to Garnacho, and we eventually get dispossessed. But now still movement forward for Leeds. Like I said, it's just very difficult to get the ball off of them sometimes. De Ketelaere pushing forward. Igor, wow, got a tackle in. Bad passing there. Still bad passing. What are we doing? But eventually, we get it away again. And that's going to be the end of the first half. So very much back and forth. No team really taking any of their chances. Still 0-0 here at half with, neither team really dominating the game. Good passing here by Leeds. Just need to stay in a neutral area here with Ndeka. Igor try to get him in front of De Ketelaere. We do, but Poveda with the shot and with the finish off of Verbruggen's leg as well. Let's take another look at that replay because, what kind of save was this from Verbruggen? Honestly, pretty funny. Yeah, not really too much of his fault. It was likely going to be a goal anyways, but seriously, not a great effort there, I wouldn't say. Garnacho sent on a run by Kirkes. Has some room, makes a nice move inside of one defender. Going to keep pushing forward here and going to look for that back right corner and finds it well. Only a few minutes later, we take a goal back here against Leeds, and we are now level at 1 with 30 minutes to go, I believe. So definitely still a chance for us to get 3 points here. And since we're playing at home, I mean, we really have to get 3 points here. There's really no excuse. Kudus wins the ball back. We're going to have Getson Fernandez on a run here. We're going to knock it ahead of ourselves. Why was that? I mean, why was it that heavy? I wanted to knock it ahead of ourselves just a little bit, not that much. 73 minutes gone here. Looks like that's going to be a handball against them. We're going to go ahead and make some subs. Let's get Almada on for Turkey. And they're going to change some players out as well. We're only going to make that 1 sub for now. Don't really feel the need to make too many others. Getson Fernandez, Garnacho. Good effort, but not the greatest. And now just a few minutes later, we'll go ahead and make a few more subs. Garnacho, João Felix, and Indica coming off. We're going to bring on some very formidable substitutions, so it's not like we're giving up in this game, but we just don't have much time left, to be honest. There's only about 10 minutes left in the game now, I think. Kudus inside to Getson Fernandez. We're going to have Thiago Almada on a run down here. A little bit of a heavy touch, but not as heavy as Getson Fernandez is on that last one. And Almada's going to be considered offsides for that? Is that what the call was? He's the one that shot the ball. I guess maybe there was a handball in there, possibly. That's insane. Kudus over here to Getson Fernandez. Over the top. Almada almost could have been there. And we almost got the interception there with Moretti. Now they could be on a break if they find this pass out here. And they eventually do. Poveda pushing forward. Brendan Aronson now with the ball. Back to Poveda. Gonna try to get in a tackle with Kirkaz. We can't. And not a lot of time left. Need to just get in the way with Igor. We do. Getson Fernandez. We have 3 minutes of at a time. If we can find the right passes. I mean, we just don't have anybody up here with us, which is the main problem. But we now have Kudus through to João Pedro. Gonna look for a cross. Oh, man. Wasted chances and wasted opportunities. Thiago Almada has to score whenever he was through one-on-one. And that is a draw against Leeds United. When, I mean, neither team really dominated the game. I guess we should have more expected goals, but that's just a game we have to win. But now on to the game that means the most in this episode, of course, our round of 16 matchup, second leg against AC Milan. You can see here how the other teams are faring in their fixtures as well. Newcastle over Galatasaray, Barcelona over Inter as of right now, Man City over Bayern, and then on the other side, Salzburg, Leverkusen, Juventus, and Fiorentina winning their matchups as of right now, but everybody's got to play that second leg. So let's go ahead and get into our game against AC Milan. We have changed our training plans to energy focused for all of our players, so they are back to full stamina for this game, which is much needed. And we're going to go ahead and get Moretti off for Andy D off. That is the lineup we're going to go with. So let's go ahead and get into it and see what lineup AC Milan will be going with. Obviously, our first season in the Champions League, getting to the quarterfinals would be quite the achievement, but got to get past a European giant, I would consider, in AC Milan. So let's go ahead and let's get to it. And of course, traveling to the San Siro for this competition. If we get a win here, it would likely be Brighton's biggest win in the history of the club. So I would love to get that achievement under our belt. Rodrigo pushing down this wing. I mean, very dangerous player, as we all know. Conor Gallagher, not quite as dangerous, but makes the right pass back here to Rodrigo. And they're hounding us, but we're able to get it away. Gets a Fernandez long ball out here to Garnacho. We're going to try to knock that one ahead to Almada. Oh, looking for João Felix, who nearly got through. Gets a Fernandez. Going for a shot. Not a bad effort. 12 minutes gone now. Still 0-0, of course, but looking good for us so far. Gets a Fernandez. We're going to have João Felix through. João Felix going for that shot towards the back corner. Magnan making the save. But we give up possession. Gets Fernandez, gets caught. Benacer with it now. Looking forward to Rodrigo. Trying to make a couple moves around the defenders. Nowhere to go. Gets inside to Gonzalo Ramos. And gets that shot past Verbruggen. 1-0 Milan. 2-1 on aggregate for them as well. Kone pushing forward. Might have the opportunity to shoot. Definitely has the opportunity now. Off the post. Rodrigo doesn't take a shot initially. And Diamande is somehow able to get that one away. I don't know what that animation was. Lucky not to go down by 2 there. And what is that foul from Kone? I mean, it looks like that's going to be a red. And it's a straight red for Manu Kone there. Again, the AI just going right for the legs. 2-footer, jumping right into him. Just trying to injure him, I guess. Not really sure what that was. Might be able to get on a break here from this free kick. We're going to continue to send Almada on a run. We don't use him, but we will now. Almada, please use some of that pace. And find that top right corner. What a finish from Thiago Almada, holding off the defense. What a finish that was. We got to take another look at this one. He had 2 defenders just right on him, and somehow is able to get that shot around them, around the keeper as well. Clinical is what I would call that. Their midfield has been wide open. Gets Fernandez through to Garnacho. A little bit of a heavy touch on that first one. Tried to find that bottom right corner. Good save by Magnan again. Finally moving forward here. Conor Gallagher back to Ramos. Gallagher with the shot. Verbruggen with the save. 88 minutes gone here. They're going to have a corner, and we absolutely have to clear this one out. There is no excuse for not getting this one away. A good cross in. João Felix heads it up. Diomande tries to pass it on the ground. We still get it away. João Felix now over here to Kudus. Back to João Felix, but they're back on defense very quickly. And that is going to be the end of regulation here. 2-2 on aggregate, so we will play some extra time here. Oh, Garnacho could be all the way through here. Almada with a fantastic pass down to him. A little bit of stamina used, and God, wow, what incredible defense by Militao to track back from, all the way across the field, essentially. Gets a Fernandez pushing forward. We're going to have Kudus, if he steps up. Was he onside? I think he was. We're going to look back inside for João Felix, and the defender, again, with an incredible tackle. Do we have a pass out here to Kudus? He's offsides. We just can't do anything right now. Everything is just fractionally going towards AC Milan. I mean, look at that. His toe is past Botman. We're going to penalties. Luckily for us, we did not make any subs throughout this entire game. Literally 0 subs. So hopefully that will play in our favor. We're going to have Sebastian Haller here up against Verbruggen. We go the wrong way, so they're immediately up. Thiago Almada. We are going to go top right. And we go the right way. 1-1 now. Very, very intense penalty taken. And then now Arda Güler with the second for them. João Felix now. We're going to go right down the middle. I think that's a mistake. It's not a mistake. We get that one into the back of the net. Chukwueze. We're going to go right. Oh! And we go the right way. But Verbruggen's still not able to get to it. Kudus. We're going to go that top right side as well. And we go the right way. All right. Everybody's scoring their penalties so far. Militao. Right down the middle. Almost right down the middle. Wow. My heart is beating. We're going to go left side. Okay. Perfect. Oh, we got to save this. Conor Gallagher. He's going right. He went left. Damn. All right. We have to score this. Gedson Fernandez. Top right. Top right. All right. 5-5. Oh, man. He's going left. He goes right. I mean, I can't guess the right way at all. Garnacho. You got to score this one, brother. Top left. That is absolutely heartbreaking. Yeah. Doesn't get much worse than that. Losing on a penalty whenever it was 5-5 in penalties, now then 6-5, of course. And we just go the wrong way. I honestly thought about chipping. I honestly did. And I was like, oh, no, I can't do that, because if it goes wrong, then that would be the most embarrassing thing ever. But we still end up going out no matter the case. And that is going to be it for our run in the Champions League this year. Honestly, it could have gone worse. I mean, round of 16 exit isn't the worst thing for a team in their first ever Champions League knockout round appearance, but still heartbreaking nonetheless. Man, yeah, that's so tough. You can see Man City won. All the other teams are yet to play, but we'll go ahead and simulate a few days after this interview.
Regarding the match.
Because teams like Man City and Liverpool and United, they don't drop many points, and when they do, you got to capitalize. So Manchester City 6 points ahead of us. We still have a game played more than they do, so we're going to go ahead and get into this Nottingham Forest game. We'll actually look at these scout reports real quick after we accept this transfer offer. And I believe we're going to simulate this Nottingham Forest game. Wow, this guy looks like he could be pretty good. We've been scouting him for 2 months. His potential's high, but his value is just not. And nobody else looks that great either. I'm going to go ahead and sign him up. I mean, even if he doesn't end up being that good, we'll at least have him. And then we'll go from there. And it doesn't look like any of these players from the U.S. are going to be that great either. But we will go ahead and leave this player here for scouting further. But it doesn't even matter. We can't sign him up anyways. Our youth squad is currently full, so we would have to let someone go or sign some players up. And we will actually go ahead and take a look at our youth academy just to see how well things are progressing with some of the players. I know we've got a few players that are looking, pretty solid. We've got a center midfielder here who's 63 overall. He's been in the youth academy for forever, as long as I can remember. Same thing with this attacking midfielder here. Neither one of them have a crazy high potential, but they could be good enough. So it's exciting to see that. But then as far as everyone else, I mean, kind of just average. So we'll see how it goes. And now we have this game against Nottingham Forest in the league. They only have 14 points through this point in the season so far. I believe 27 games in. That's their lineup. Hasn't really changed much throughout the entirety of the career mode, but we're going to rotate a few players. Diaz going to get a start. Moretti back in for Diouf and João Pedro up top. Everyone else stays the same, though. We'll go ahead and get a quick sim on this. And we, of course, lose 2-1 to Nottingham Forest. And that just makes it even worse for the Premier League and for our potential fight for the top four and fight for, first place. First place looking like it's going to be very difficult to obtain now. Only 10 games remaining. Still only 6 points behind, but played 2 more games. So let's go ahead and simulate to the next game. The Newcastle game got moved, so our next game will be in April already. So let's go ahead and simulate over to it. And unfortunately, our manager rating has definitely gone down over the past month or so, I guess you could say, throughout this episode, basically. Of course, one of our objectives was to reach the Champions League final, which, like I said, I thought that was a pretty unreasonable objective for our first year in the Champions League. But of course, our other objectives domestically, win the FA Cup, not even close to doing that one. Got bounced in the round of 16. And then finishing a Champions League spot in the Premier League, still doable for sure. We would have to do that to keep our job. If we don't finish in a Champions League spot, I'm afraid we might actually get fired, which would be very, very tough. And then they want us to make a profit. We still got a couple seasons for that. We've done everything else, though, so we did the critical objectives, which is the most important, obviously, but manager rating still doesn't look great. So let's go ahead and get into this game against Brentford. This will be their lineup against us, decent lineup, but nothing too crazy. Definitely a beatable team. Carlos Baleba in there for them, former player of ours. And then we're going to go with pretty much the strongest lineup we can put out. We got Diaz still in midfield. He's a little bit unhappy, so I want to try to get him back to happiness. Mohamed Kudus, you can see over there, up to 89 overall now, which is just absolutely insane. But with the way things are going, he may want to look to move to another team by the next season. You never know. Kudus waits for the run from Bowie, who's going to have Almada. I tried to go near post instead of far post like I usually would. Still doesn't matter, though. We can't get it to go into the net. Bowie, got to get in a tackle there. And we just absolutely level a player. João Felix trying to send Kudus through here. Going to keep fighting for possession on the ball. But I don't know if we're going to be able to win it. We do. Almada, pass this to Garnacho, please. Thank God. Almost nothing has been happening in this first half. I doubt there's been any highlights, hardly at all. But 37 minutes gone. We finally take the lead, keeping the pressure on their defense. Finally taking the lead, I think for the first time maybe in this entire episode. I don't even remember at this point, but happy to see Garnacho get a goal after, of course, missing that penalty, against AC Milan. Maybe that'll get his morale up. And that's how the half will end as well. Nothing doing after that. 61% possession for Brentford. We've got 4 shots. Doesn't really feel like it, but Brentford going forward have been abysmal. And then us going forward have been pretty abysmal too. So let's hope for better performance here in the second half. Brandon Lodi inside to Okafor over here. Like I said, they haven't been able to get a shot away until now. Of course, as soon as I'm about to say something about it. Perfect play by Okafor there, just to find his way through our entire defense. Step over, finish, in off the post. Almada sort of has the ball through here to João Felix. We're going to go for an early shot. We were being closed down on by like 4 defenders, so I figure we might as well get it away. We're going to go ahead and get a couple subs on here as well. João Pedro coming on for João Felix, and Cherki for Almada. A couple players that were a little bit too tired to continue in this game, and we'll swing this cross in with Kudus. Looking for João Pedro, but right at the keeper. Very, very light header. Cherki through to João Pedro. Oh, we might have Kudus through. Is he onside? It looks like he is. Oh, I thought he was offsides. The way the camera was moving, I didn't think that we were going to be allowed the goal there. But what a pass from João Pedro through to Kudus, and what a finish to give us the 2-1 lead. Now Cherki with an excellent ball out here to Kudus. Kudus cuts inside. Kudus, God, we have to finish that. 89 overall. You got to be finishing that one, brother. Too much power behind it. Leaned back a little bit too far, and it's just over that top left corner. Still 2-1 though, of course. As you can see, we've only had 46 passes, in the entire game, which is just absolutely insane. Probably need to try to control possession a little better. 77 minutes gone here. And that may have been the problem in our other games as well. We just weren't working it around enough, because right now we have all the space in the world. Garnacho over here to João Pedro. I was talking about space. Quickly closed down. Getson Fernandez needs to provide me a better option than that. João Pedro just runs around the entire defense, though. Gonna look inside for Garnacho for no reason at all, honestly. I don't know why the hell I did that. And now they could be on a break. We're gonna tackle them with Kirkiez. And that's going to be a straight red here in the 89th minute. Might be one of the first red cards we've had this season, but definitely in this entire career mode as well. Blocking that man off from moving forward. We're going to go ahead and make some subs now too. And we'll make a 3-man sub to get some players off that are tired, and obviously to switch out for another defender. We took off Garnacho and moved him back to the left back spot for Kirkiez. Need to just clear this one away. And we should have room to run out here. And we're just going to try to take this to the corner if we can. But now we're going to have a pass through here actually to Gedson Fernandez. Cherki with a shot right at the keeper. And they're going to clear this one away, but not enough time to get back down the field. Going down to 10 men, but only a couple minutes of it. And we find ourselves with a 2-1 win. And the team morale is definitely pretty low after our AC Milan knockout. And we need to try to get it back up, and especially after the last month and a half or 2 months. I can't even remember how many times we've lost, but it's been quite a bit. Let's go ahead and take a look at the calendar, actually. Obviously, we beat Brentford last month. We didn't win at all. 3 losses and a draw. And then before that, not the worst month, actually, there. So, really, it was just the last month. And then, obviously, after that month, after the 4 games in that month, having a 3-week break in between our next game is not great for the morale and not great for the mentality of the team. But we found our way through. Next up is going to be Spurs, who not having a great season. 12th place, even lower than Brentford, which, could play into our favor. We need a win there for sure. Sitting in 5th place now, and this is where we're going to leave off this episode, and then we will get into those games in the next one. Looks like we will have Spurs, United, Palace, Newcastle, Burnley, Sunderland. So some of these games will be played. Most of the big ones, Newcastle, Tottenham, and Man United will definitely be played, and some of the other ones will be simulated as well. And then we'll be done with this season almost. Only one more episode after that, so I want to thank you guys for watching. Please be sure to like the video, and please be sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. And I will catch you guys in the next episode. Peace.